Hello, sports fans. Welcome to Two of a Kind Sports, the show where passion meets the game. I'm your co host, Denise.
And I'm your co-host, D Nice.
And today we're going to take an unfortunate journey into week 7, where our Commanders went to Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium to face off against the Cowboys. You don't want to miss what we've got to say about this one. But before we get into it, please do us a kind favor. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And when you please hit the bell icon and select all. That way you won't miss it when we go live or we drop a brand new video. So week 7.
Week 7.
2025. Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium. Our 3-3 Washington Commanders went to face off against the 2-3-1 Dallas Cowboys. And it was not a pretty picture.
Not at all. Not at all.
But let me say this, getting back to a point I made last week about the coin toss. Dallas won the coin toss, and Dallas did just what I said we should do. I said we should, when we win the coin toss, put our offense on the field first to give us the first opportunity to score and leave our opponent trailing us. Well, I don't know if they heard me way over in Arlington, Texas.
Yes.
But Dallas won the coin toss, and they elected to put their offense on the field. They did not defer.
Right.
And because Dallas gave their team an opportunity to get on the scoreboard first, what happened, D Nice? Did they get on the scoreboard first, or did our defense send a strong message by shutting them down on their first drive? What happened, D-Nice?
Well, we know that our defense didn't shut them down. Dallas just went down that field and just pretty much did exactly what they wanted to do. That was my whole thing that I was really anxious about this week. I always said, and you and I both said, even up to this week, we cannot start behind. Dallas was the number 1 ranked offense in scoring. And I knew that we had to either be ahead or we had to be able to go toe-to-toe with them. And Denise, we did not go toe-to-toe with them. Dallas came out there and put belt to you know what.
Yeah, because in this first quarter, first drive, Dallas scored a touchdown with Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams scored a touchdown, and they got the extra point. So here we are, Commanders 0, Cowboys 7. And now, this is just the beginning of the game.
Before you go into that score, let's lead up to that. How that happened before Javonte Williams. It is when Marshawn Lattimore got a pass interference on George Pickens that gave them Dallas the ball on 1st and goal. Yes, it was a pass interference, but that actually that was one of the best coverages throughout the night that Lattimore had on Pickens. Even though Pickens caught it over his shoulder, that did drop it in the bread basket, but it started off wrong.
But I will say, okay, since we're going to talk about what led to what, Deron Payne almost got his hand on the ball that Prescott threw. So, I mean, I thought, okay, our defense is playing aggressively because they are trying to show up in this, even though they weren't able to stop Dallas from scoring. But we did see some effort being made. So, yeah, with Deron getting his hand on the ball and then Lattimore covering his guy like a king-size blanket and getting that pass interference call. It showed effort. So we did start off making some effort, even though we did not get the desired result from that effort because, as I said, Dallas got a touchdown.
Right, on their first drive, on their very first drive. So it wasn't where the defense held them out or the defense was able to, and that's been a problem the whole season, Denise.
Yeah.
The whole problem is defense cannot get anybody off the field. They're allowing teams to, sustain drives, and that's so frustrating because it's like, I always hear each week that Joe Witt is saying that, we're going to be physical, we're going to attack. We are a very reactionary defense. We're not an attacking defense. We're not getting any pass rush. As we see now, just even this week, we lost Dorrance Armstrong, who was our leading leading the team with 5.5 sacks.
5.5 sacks.
Right. And he's out for the year.
He was number 5.
Yeah, he's number 5 in the league. Yes.
Yeah.
And now
he's got a season-ending injury, so we won't see Dorrance Armstrong for the rest of this year, which is really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate because he really was a consistently aggressive player who made an impact in each and every game.
Yes, so, I agree. Not to mention, that is our third defensive end that we've lost for the year. The first one was Demetric Wise. Then we lost John Baptiste. And now Dorrance Armstrong. So now what that does, that puts the old man, Von Miller, who's number 2 on the team in sacks, with 4 sacks. We need more production from him. But that's going to be hard. That's hard to be asking from a 34-year-old man, to go out there and make consistent plays each week. We need help. And I don't know if we're going to get that help this year. I don't know. And I'm not interested in AP trading away a bunch of draft picks. We need to continue to build through the draft and free agency. We cannot allow.
And we need to work on developing new young talent. Yes. Because let me tell you, I would rather take a chance on a young hungry than to get these retreads from other teams, these veterans. And yes, there's a value in veteran leadership in the locker room, sure. But when you are talking about that gridiron, I want a young hungry out there who has everything to prove and everything to gain, because when we generally get these retreads, their best days are behind them, not in front of them. I want a guy whose future looks bright ahead. I don't necessarily need all these guys who are, looking at retirement, because retirement is not going to put us in a championship position. So
absolutely.
I agree with you on that.
Right. Now, but what you just to piggyback what you said, Denise, that's fine and dandy that we get young youth, because we have some that's making plays on this team. However, the thing that I'm getting very irritated with this coaching staff, how can you develop players if you're not playing your young guys with your vets to get any experience? That baffles me, Denise. I don't understand that. And it's like we keep hearing Joe Witt on defense saying, "Oh, we have Jordan McGee packages." Yes, Jordan McGee is playing a little bit more, but where's the aggression? Why are we not seeing more of these young guys? We don't have enough team speed, and that's what we got killed. Yeah. And mind you, Denise, we're going up against the Kansas City Chiefs this week coming up. Not to go too far, but that's going to be a track meet. You have Rice, you have Worthy, you have all those guys. They're even faster than the wide receivers of Dallas, okay? So all what's happening, I don't know what Joe Witt is doing as far as with these guys. I don't know. Do we have the wrong players there? Because I don't feel sorry for them, Denise, because this is what the coaching staff, they picked this team, okay? There's no reason why we should be having guys run into each other in the backfield, in the secondary, blown coverages. It's just bad angles. And Quan Martin, man, I used to be a fan of his last year and up to this year. Quan, Mikey, their level of play has regressed. Quan is taking bad angles. Quan is getting beat over the top. How the heck are you a safety and you're getting beat over the top? You're the last man. There's no way that you should be getting beat. And it's too much still arm tackling, trying to make big hits instead of just going in, getting the man down. And this is what we talk about. So, I understand the players play and the coaches coach, but is this message getting lost throughout the week? Is Joe Witt not getting this message across to this defense, Denise? That's what I want to know.
Well, I want to try to get through this tragic game before I start critiquing positions, because I called for Matt Gay, our kicker, to be fired.
Yes.
And our head coach, Dan Quinn, solidly stood behind our kicker.
Yes.
And he said, we, the team, we believe in him.
Mm-hmm.
And we know what he's capable of doing. And we don't consider it to be a problem because we know we've got a good guy. He's going to be just fine. So we have a head coach who will not let go of an unstable kicker.
Mm-hmm.
I have absolutely no reason to think he's going to let go of any of his coordinators.
No, not during the season. If anything, that's going to come at the end of the year, not during the season.
Right.
I don't suggest that we do that anyway because
exactly. I'm not looking for it. I'm not suggesting it. There are a lot of people though calling for Joe Witt's head.
Of course.
There are a lot of people who are saying Joe Witt should be fired.
Right.
And I understand it. I don't agree with it. Mm-hmm. I don't agree with it because last season, with us making it to the playoffs and making it to the conference championship, it really raised expectations.
That I told everybody to temper them expectations.
And based on what we're seeing now, where we stand now, week 7.
Yes.
It's looking more and more like last season was a fluke.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like that. It's starting to feel like that.
To your point, our players have not progressed. They have not built on the championship level play we saw last year. They have regressed. Mm-hmm. They have taken a step back. We're seeing a lack of fundamentals. We're seeing a lack of focus. We're not seeing that same team that was so dynamic, that had energy, that built on their momentum, that were consistent. We're not seeing that. We're seeing a lot of inconsistency. We know that our team has talent. Now, what we saw in the preseason was that our team does not have depth. We don't have depth, but we made such a good showing against the Giants when the season started. We thought, okay, well, maybe they were just, inexperienced. They were trying to, audition for a spot on the roster. Mm-hmm. Maybe they needed to get those rookie mistakes out of the way. So that was the preseason was for. But now that we've been plagued with injuries, and now that it has been a next man up situation, we see where we are falling short. We see where our opponents know exactly how to plan and prepare for us.
We're too predictable, both sides of the ball.
We can't get anything going, and people have our numbers. And it was really bad that the team that showed that was the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
And then we go to Dallas, our number one arch rival of all time, and they show us up as bad as they did.
And that's why it hurts so. And that's why it hurts so much because it's we can take that we lost the game, but it's the way we lost to our arch nemesis, the Dallas Cowboys, and that didn't feel good. That what, Denise? I'm not gonna even lie. I'm a fan of this team, but I wanted to turn that TV off.
Yeah,
it was so hard. I was over here throwing temper tantrums. Like, what are we doing? Like, it seemed like us as the fans right now are having more passion than it seems as a team. I'm noticing even from the coaching staff, I don't see the same tenacity. I don't see the same fire. Last year, Dan Quinn had all these phrases, raise hell and anytime, anywhere, any place. I don't see this same mantra of this team this year. It's like everybody too much. It seems like to me that a lot of people have bit off the, as you could call it, the train from last year. Last year. We ain't did nothing this year. And
that's the thing. If you really enjoyed last year and you got high off of last year, then you should want to continue that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you should also realize as a professional that what you did so successfully last year, teams this year will look at that, they will review that, they will pick that apart, and they will plan for more of that. And we aren't even rising to that level.
Right.
So teams have our number, and these Cowboys, they showed that they really did have our number. So after they scored the touchdown, we did see some teamwork, okay? Because Luke McCaffrey, returning the kickoff or the punt, Luke McCaffrey ran down the field for 39 yards. So he got us in good field position, okay?
Yes.
And then Percy Butler caught the ball and tiptoed right down the goal line, avoiding a touchback. Okay,
yes.
so
58-yard punt from Tressway. Yes,
Percy he was he was very situationally aware.
Yes.
Okay, so we saw some teamwork going, and then from there, when the Cowboys did begin their drive, we saw Deron Payne tackle Williams in the end zone.
Yes, for the safety. Yes.
We got a safety. So that was 2 points on the board. So we had the kickoff. We had the tackle. Our team was really working well together. They worked well together. And so they were able to put 2 points on the board. That wasn't our offense. Okay. So that was good. So I appreciated that. So that put us at Washington 2, Dallas 7.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm thinking, okay, we got something good going here.
And that did happen. That happened on Dallas' second drive.
Right. On their second drive.
Yes.
Okay. So when we began our drive, we got a touchdown, which was really good. I appreciated that, because Daniels threw to Ertz for a touchdown.
Right.
So that was really good. And I have to give number 77 credit because he did block well in order for Daniels to make that throw. So I appreciated that. And we did try to get the 2-point conversion, but that was not successful. So that put us at Washington 8, Dallas 7. So that did give us the lead. So Daniels connecting with Ertz did put us in front. So I was like, okay, we have a ball game. But then on Dallas's drive, they were able to kick a 47-yard field goal. I'm trying to hurry up and get through this because I have a lot to say about this team. So it put us at Washington 8, Dallas 10. So Dallas increased their lead.
Yeah, Brandon Bray kicked a 48-yard field goal for Dallas.
Yes, Brandon Aubrey, who is a really good kicker. Okay, and he showed us that. He showed us his foot. Okay.
Yeah.
So then on Dallas's next drive.
Okay, their third drive.
Yes. Prescott went to CD Lamb
for 74 yards.
74-yard run. And this was a play where
Juan Martin and Lattimore ran into each other.
They ran into each other, and this was like the Three Stooges minus one Stooge because we had two Stooges, and they ran into each other, and it was really captured on camera.
Yes, it was.
And it was highlighted in the broadcast, and it was very embarrassing for us. So this was lack of communication, missed coverage, lack of focus. They're just not really paying attention. And this resulted in CeeDee Lamb, who didn't need the help, by the way. This is CeeDee Lamb. He doesn't need your help.
Not only that, this is his first game back. First game back from injury, too, Denise.
And he ran it in for a touchdown, Yeah. So here we stand, Dallas 17, Washington 8.
Yep. Then on our next drive, we was 3-0. Once again, the offense didn't do anything.
No.
Punt. I don't know. I mean, I understand that we came in the game already shortened, so I was already a little leery. I was optimistic that I thought we still could win. As I always say each week, we are the team that helps other teams to get right. Last week it was the Bears defense that got right against us. This week it was the Dallas Cowboys.
But the Cowboys tend to get right for us anyway.
Yeah,
if they lose to everybody else, they figure out ways to beat us.
That is true.
That's our history with them now. That's recent history. Okay.
Dak Prescott is 7-0 at home against the Washington Redskins / Commanders. That
exactly
is ridiculous.
He plays very well against us.
He's
that
undefeated.
is Mr. Prescott's history. And the Cowboys do find a way to get things together and play well enough to beat us.
Yes.
And that's why some people don't consider the Cowboys Washington team a rivalry anymore, because it used to go back and forth, and the competition was tight. We have lost that now. So we need to get that back. And here we go. I wanna give number 55, Jacob Martin. On our team. I want to give him credit because he did
Jacob
sack
Martin, he balled out. He balled out this game. Yes.
He did sack Dak Prescott. So I do want to give him that credit. However, that ended the first quarter.
Yes, with 17-8 Dallas. Yes, at the end of the first.
Yes. So we go into the second quarter, and we got penalties.
That was the whole game. We killed ourselves with penalties. I mean, even when we make good plays, just like and not only just penalties, Denise, we had a lot of drops. From Jaden Lane, from Zach Ertz. I mean, in the second quarter, I mean, we had JD5. He did make a completion to Jaden Lane for 35 yards. That was one that he did catch, but
unfortunately, Dallas got the holding penalty on that.
Yes, they did. I don't know this year. Last year, we seemed like we had more sure hands. Chris Moore's, he drops the ball. I mean, I'm really starting to see the impact. I mean, some people said, oh, losing Austin Eckler wasn't that big. Yes, it was big. Losing Eckler, we were short of Terry
McLaurin.
Right? Our most productive receiver during this Dallas game was Robbie Chosen.
Number 12, Chosen.
AKA Robbie Anderson, former name. He was our leading receiver. He's only been on here for not even a week.
10 minutes.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, and I listen to what also would irritate me when I listen to Brian Schottenheimer say, analytics told him to play this team in man coverage. You know why he said that? Because we don't have anybody on the outside that can stop, that can make the defense.
Right, nobody on the outside, right.
So what they're going to do is every team, until we can find a way to beat this, Denise, every team is going to play with Bill can't get any yards. They're going to play eight in the box because we're not keeping the defense honest. Now, that can also be helped some by our offensive coordinator. Cliff Kingsbury needs to get a little bit more creative.
Only a little?
Yeah, well, a lot. Because great coaches, when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, when you look at some of these other teams, I don't care. They might have some of their stars out, but they put them in the right position. They make plays. I feel like even though Luke McCaffrey is not the fastest, put him in position to be successful. Move him around. Move Jaden Lane around. We have to get Bill out in space. We have to get more. I'm trying to tell you, Denise, right now that offense looks so like a college offense. Teams are really, really picking up offensive part.
It's very one note.
Thing. Yeah, it's very one
note.
Yes, it is. It's like you stop the run, then it's like we don't have an answer for the pass. You stop our pass, and see that shows that we put too much of our eggs in our basket on Terry and Debo.
Yeah,
this is where we need more depth. And here we go again, as we said, it's going to take a couple years, fans, to get this roster from bottom up, not from top to bottom, bottom up. AP and DQ got a lot of work to do, and it's really showing now that we are injured. We have the injury bug. We have no team depth, and we have no team speed. And we need both of them badly.
It's unfortunate. This is not a playoff caliber team at the moment. The Commanders are not at the moment.
Yeah, so it's a lot of ball left, but it don't look like a playoff team at all. It looks like we're the worst team in our division. You even have the New York Giants, even though they had a debacle game last night, but they're even looking better. Like we don't have. And then I'm assuming, I'm no doctor, Jaden might not even play this week against Kansas City because they did reveal that he didn't have no major injury to his hamstring. Right. But I don't know if you're going to sit him out. I just don't feel confident in this team this year like I did last year. Last year, I really felt like anybody, anywhere, anytime. This year, I don't know what to expect.
It's different. It's different this year. We have a lot to figure out.
Yes.
But Dallas on their drive,
mm-hmm.
This is where Mr. Aubrey showed his stuff.
Yes.
He kicked a 61-yard field goal like it was just an extra point. Yep. I mean, that ball went all the way to the wall. It went straight through the middle.
Yes.
And it could have been more than 61 yards because he kicked that ball beyond.
Well, you know he's kicked a 65-yarder before.
And he has a track record now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. He's the kicker who has 5 times kicked a field goal of 60 yards or more. Mm. Okay. That's his record.
And he don't and Denise, he don't even practice 60 yarders. He said, I seen a quote from him. He practiced more. 56 has been his longest. You know why? Because he doesn't want to change his swing on his leg, like kind of like a golfer. He wants to have the same. Listen to that. He wants to be consistent and having the same.
He's not the formula. He figured out the formula. The formula works, and he's not veering from it. And this is why Aubrey stands at 5 field goals of 60 plus yards. So he put Dallas up even further. Dallas built on their lead. So here we are in the second quarter, and it's Dallas 20, Washington still at 8 points.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then we had a couple of good little plays you would see in the second quarter, like when we had a nice run by Jeremy McNichols. It was a nice, pretty good run. And then where we end up getting the touchdown from Jaden Daniels. It was a 5-yard run, which made the score 20-15. I thought, when I saw that, I said, okay, well, maybe we got something going on. The good thing
because we didn't give up. I mean,
because Butler, we also. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Denise.
Okay, Butler tackled Turpin on a punt return. Turpin caught the ball, and he thought he was going to run, and Butler was right there all over him, so that was good.
Yes.
Luvu tackled and got a hand off from Prescott, so he did good, and Sandra still broke up a play.
Yeah. So, he's been up and down. He'll make a play, then he make his bad play. But
exactly.
I'll take it.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm trying to give our guys some credit, for effort. We're acknowledging effort.
Yeah, and in the second quarter, like you said, effort, but effort goes a long ways because the team still is doing poor tackling. And that they're not giving any effort. Here it is. You're saying effort.
They give some effort, but then they offset that effort with their mistakes because their mistakes wind up being more costly than any benefit that they've ever gotten from their effort. So it cancels out. It cancels out. So I mean, I'm just trying to look for the bright side here, but there is no bright side. But our guy Daniels, our Jedi 5, being who he is and doing what he does, he ran for a touchdown.
Yes.
So that put us at 15. Washington. Dallas still had 20.
Yes.
So we were trying to catch up. We were trying to, gain a little ground. But before the half, it took the Dallas Cowboys 35 seconds at the end of the second quarter, right before the half. Took them 35 seconds to get a touchdown.
Yeah, Dak Prescott.
So that is our defense going to sleep. That is our defense being comatose. I mean, that was just ridiculous. 35 seconds, a little over half a minute.
Yeah. Well, and we left too much time. We left too much time on the clock for Dallas. I understand it was a one play type of thing.
Lack of time management. Yes.
Lack of time management, definitely for sure. And then, but once again, bad tackling, because even with Javonte Williams with that 33-yard run that helped set up that touchdown for Dallas, it's just bad tackling and penalties have been the theme of us all season. And good teams don't make those mistakes. And that's where we see where we're different from this year and last year. And I hate to keep going back to last year, but if that's the way we measured our success, we're going to look at last year and this year. This team is nowhere near. And as we said at the beginning of the season, it looked good on paper, but we still had to go out here and show it. And we have not showed it. And
well, I don't go with that paper stuff because we have looked good on paper for a lot of different years.
Yes.
The unfortunate part about looking good on paper is that games are not played on paper.
Yeah.
You don't play games on paper. You play the game on the field. And I was surprised that Dallas got this touchdown so quickly, because earlier on in the drive, Von Miller sacked Prescott.
Yes, he did, with 28 seconds left. That's what I was surprised of.
I thought, okay, we made our mark. We've put our stamp on this thing. So we're going to go into the half, at 20-15.
Right.
20 Dallas, 15 to Washington. But here we go. 35 seconds was all Dallas needed. After
That's
Prescott got sacked, okay?
Right, and after the sack.
And then they go, and Cowboys go and get another touchdown. So here we are at the half. 27 Dallas, still 15 Washington. And I was like, you know what?
And you see, if we would have stopped them, we got the ball back in the second half. We could
because they deferred
the whole trajectory of the game.
I mean, because they put the offense first. So we would have gotten the ball
we got the ball back
after the half. But here I felt really kind of disheartened because we were just making too many mistakes. It's like, okay, Dallas was doing their part to hurt us.
Yes.
But we were helping it every step of the way. I mean, the senseless penalties, the missed tackles, the lack of focus, the lack of energy, the lack of aggression. We were helping Dallas to beat us. And our defense couldn't stop them. And one thing that I got really tired of seeing throughout the game, when you talk about our offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury's lack of imagination, we had Krosky Merritt. Bill is what they call him.
Bill is what they call him.
We had Krosky Merritt run up the center time after time. Didn't Cyndi Lauper sing a song about it? Time
after the time. Yep.
Okay. We sent him up the center time after time. And the Cowboys were all right there waiting.
Yeah, we didn't do no pitches. We didn't run on the edges or anything. It's like Cliff Kingsbury wants to go everything between the tackles. And look what Dallas did with us, with Javonte Williams. They ran on the edges. Why can't we get Bill in space like that as well?
Around the perimeter. Go around. Don't go up the center, because you're running Bill right into traffic.
Right.
You're running him into a pile up.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, in the previous week against the Bears, our dude, Krosky Merritt, Bill is what they call him, he was having problems holding on to the ball. His ball handling got sloppy. So now you're going to this week send him up the center, where he's getting hit and jumped on and piled on. Now, to Krosky Merritt's credit, Bill is what they call him. He held on to the ball. So I appreciate that. Now, that is an improvement that I saw, because he got hit more times this week, running up the center and running into traffic and being piled on. He held on to the ball each time.
Yeah, they were in the backfield. He only averaged 3.3 yards this game. He went from was leading the league in 6.6 yards. 3.3 yards, that's all we can muster per carry this past week against Dallas. Like 2 weeks in
Yep.
a row. 2 weeks in a row. This line is not getting any push. They're getting pushed.
Exactly. They're getting pushed back, and Cliff Kingsbury is not coming up with any different play calling.
No, he is not. He is not getting creative, as I stated to you. He's not getting creative. He's not sometimes even with motions. It's like too much of the trick stuff was already thought of with Debo. Well, Debo is not playing. So you have to incorporate someone else to that same thing. Make the defense be honest, Denise. That's the problem I have with Cliff Kingsbury. He does not make the defense honest. It's like we're a one-trick pony. When they take away one thing from us, then it's like, okay, so in order for this offense to click, it seems that everything has to be all perfect. And you're not going to have perfect games.
You're not getting that. You can't
You're
rely
not
on
going to get that because good teams are going to take away what you do best. So we have to find a way to counter that. And that's what I'm saying with Cliff Kingsbury that really irritates me, Denise. Each week, we want to run the ball, but let's be creative in running the ball. You don't have to always go up to dive up through the center or off tackle. Go on the edge.
Especially when your O-line does not open holes. They don't create lanes.
Absolutely.
So where is Proskimir going to run except into traffic?
Right. And then give a little sprinkle with Jeremy McNichols. You have to keep the defense. Right now, teams are knowing from our personnel packages, right?
Yep.
They're knowing already, okay, well, he's in. They watch out for the screen.
This is what they're going to do.
Right. So
the analytics show it. This is what they are most likely to do. This is what they've been doing. So as long as teams can prepare for that, they've got our number.
Yeah. And we're not taking enough shots down the field either, Denise. With teams playing us 8 in the box, we have to take shots down the field and be able to convert them as well to keep the defense honest. Right now, until we can show that, teams are going to continue to play us 8 in the box.
Yep.
They're going to take away Zach Ertz. They're going to take away Bill. Then we don't have an answer. Now, possibly this week against Monday night, we may have Terry back, but that's still going to take him a couple weeks to get his legs back underneath him. And we don't know how effective, if he does play this week, how effective he will be.
And we don't know if he's going to be fed by Jaden Daniels.
If Jaden plays, it may be Marcus Mariota. So
exactly.
Here's the unknown once a week.
Parts here.
Yeah. We have a lot of unknowns, a lot of moving parts all year long. And I hate to say, the injury bug, but I'm not making that an excuse. Because you know why? When I look at the San Francisco 49ers, they're injury bitten as well, but they're winning. They're winning. Right. Good coaches find a way. They figure it out. We got to figure it out. And I'm just tired of excuse that hearing that this person or that person, we need to get people in the game. If not, coach them up. Do we not have the right coaches? That's where it's starting to really seem because other teams are seeing. I look at the Detroit Lions last night, okay?
Yeah.
They showed their whole defensive secondary that was out, Denise. Each of them was out for the game, never even played, and they had backups, and they did not miss a beat. They were physical. They actually were more resilient. And like it kind of goes to one time when I heard B. Mitch say it. Sometimes your second string people can be better than your first string. You know why? Because they're hungry and they want
hungry. They want the position.
They stay in. So why is it not like that with our team? It seems you really see the different levels. It seems like with Debo, when Terry and them is not there, it's such a big drastic drop off. And I have a problem with that because it's too late. This year, we really can't do anything. I know the trade deadline is coming up soon. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in giving up a lot of picks. We need to continue to build
we don't need to do that.
Build in the draft, and then let's do something in the offseason. But here's another thing I say. Even in the offseason, I don't want to see none of this crap. Oh, I get it that you do take care of your vets, but I need them to play more. I don't need no holdouts. I need them to play more in the preseason.
Oh, well, look.
I need all that.
Look, it's like Michael Jordan said a long time ago when he was coaching our Wizards. He said, look, contract time is easy for me because we don't have any superstars. We have all role players. So he said, we won't be having any contract problems. Okay. And the Commanders need to take a cue from that. And it's unfortunate that Terry McLaurin, who has been a consistent weapon for us,
Yes.
held out, for whatever reason, and his contract took a while to work out. And then when he finally did sign and he finally was playing, then he got injured and we haven't seen him since. And we're hoping, this is week 7, we're going into week 8, and we're hoping for the return of Terry McLaurin, but he has not to this point impacted the game and the team's record the way he normally would.
Well, he hasn't impacted since he even been playing this year. Even when he did play, he didn't do anything.
And he was contained. And see that's my knock against Terry, though. I mean, I don't try to accentuate the negative. I try to eliminate the negative and accentuate the positive. But teams know how to contain Terry. They know how to contain Terry. So when we don't have Terry as one of our great weapons, that does kind of drive our score down a bit. But last year, we were fine. And you, I don't want to go back to last year either, but it was just a different situation. We had different performance and we had different results.
Right. So and that's why I said Austin Eckler is highly missed. I mean, I think he would work good with Bill, but you really see some of those pieces that we don't have now. It hurts. It's really hurting us.
And it shouldn't hurt this bad.
Right.
Because football is a physical game. It is a contact sport. Injuries are part of this game.
Absolutely.
So you have to question the planning and the preparation of this team, where injuries have put us in this bad a position. I mean, you have other men on the roster. You have additional players. You have a practice squad. So you're supposed to have some serviceable resources where you can go when things don't go to plan, when you can't put, all of your chosen starters on the field. So we are at a loss. I mean, everybody gets injured and we don't have our key weapons out there. And now we don't have our starting quarterback, and we have not had our starting quarterback. We had Mariota play 2 games under center. So, it's just a lot of moving parts, but we press on. We're in the third.
We have no
quarter.
choice. Yeah.
We're in the third quarter. Prescott threw to Ferguson for another touchdown.
Yep, back to Jake Ferguson, which made it 34-15 at that.
34 Dallas, 15 Washington.
That is correct.
And we did nothing on our drive.
Right. And this is and in our drive, that's where Jaden got hurt, and that's where Marcus Mariota came in. And he threw
an interception.
It was ill-advised. He should have just took the sack. I understand that he was trying to make a play, but when he made that, it just set up for DaRon Bland. Pick 6, and he took it to the house.
Yeah, Bland ran it in for a touchdown.
Yeah. And that was pretty much the backbreaker. When DaRon Bland ran that pick 6 back, that puts pretty much any chance of us coming back. We already had an uphill battle, but then any chance for us coming back, that was gone. That was obsolete right there. And DaRon Bland, really sealed the game with that pick 6 right there, Denise.
Yeah, and he ran untouched.
Yeah.
Bland got that pick 6, and nobody was touching him at all. He just stole the ball and took it all the way to the bank. And
took that money to the bank, huh?
he like a thief in the night, honey. He just came out and he just picked us off. Yeah. So, and he put the points on the board for Dallas, additional points. So Dallas was able to build on their lead. So now we're at 41 Dallas, 15 Commanders, who were not in command of anything at all.
Not at all. Command of no lead, command of nothing.
It was, so by this time I was just really disgusted. But C. Rodriguez.
Yep, Chris Rodriguez, yes.
Yeah, he got a touchdown for us. So he was still trying to have an impact. He was still trying to do his thing.
Yeah.
So
At that point, I think it was a gimme. It was a gimme at that point. I think Dallas pretty much had retracted.
Kind of garbage time for Dallas, because they knew they had our number, and they put enough points on that board to make it so that we really didn't have room, time, space, or opportunity to turn that one around. We were not the Denver Broncos. We were not coming back in the fourth quarter to win the whole game. The Broncos, thank you, Denver Broncos, for doing that to the New York Giants. We appreciate your help.
We see them this year too. So hey, we see them this year too. But that led into the fourth quarter where Brandon Aubrey, I'm sorry, he Aubrey kicked the 29-yard field goal to made it 44 to 22, and that sealed it. I mean, they doubled up on it. I mean, it was really no game. Like I said, when Deron Bland caught that interception, that just sealed the fate. It sealed the fate.
Yep.
I don't know. It just
there were other drives after that, but folks, we don't need to go into it because let me just tell you, the Cowboys paid homage to Tom Landry and got in the Tom Landry victory formation. That's
put a shellacking on us. Yeah, put a shellacking on us.
The final: Dallas 44, Washington 22.
Yeah.
Now let me just start going over some performance evaluations here. Okay. Now I understand that people are calling for Joe Witt, our defensive coordinator, to be fired. I understand that. I'm not in agreement with that. I don't agree that he should be fired this soon. And I do think that, there are mitigating circumstances here. But what we're seeing from our defense is they can't stop drives. They don't force fumbles.
Don't make adjustments.
They miss coverages.
Yes.
They're bad at tackling. They run too slow. They move too slow, period. And they don't put enough pressure on the quarterback.
Right.
Okay. So Joe Witt has to work with the defensive unit to correct these problems. Now, we've heard about communication being a problem. Okay, I have to question how practices are being conducted, because we've seen regression from some of these players, and we know that they haven't built on the great performance that they put in last season. Right. So I have to question about practices. How are practices being run? Are they focused on correcting problems? Are they focused on teaching these players proper technique? What are we getting out of these practices? Because I'm really not seeing it. So, for all of the people who want to get rid of Joe Witt, I say I can't defend his performance at this point. But if you want to get rid of Joe Witt, then please let's also pack the bags of our offensive coordinator, Cliff Kingsbury, because he's not doing a good job either. He's not been effective either. Okay, because what I'm seeing from our offense is they cannot sustain a drive. They don't win time of possession. And when you don't win time of possession, you put yourself in a good position to lose the game, because you can't make points when you're not playing, when your defense is always on the field. So they can't sustain a drive. I don't like that. They don't get first downs. I don't like that. And that makes me question Cliff Kingsbury's playbook. What plays are you calling to where we can't get first downs? That's not good. There are too many dropped balls. So that's looking like a lack of focus. How are you running your practices? Because we know that we have key people who are out injured. Okay. Yes. But it's next man up. So what are you focusing on when you practice these guys who haven't been on the field? What are you teaching them? What are you communicating to them? How are you getting them to gel? Because we see that they're not. And then Jaden Daniels, he wasn't Jedi 5. The Empire struck back, okay? Because that Jedi was not doing the mind games. Daniels did not come out with the same energy that he had when he was performing well. He didn't have the accuracy that he normally has. And he said last week against the Bears that he realized he wasn't focused as well as he should have been. Well, okay, against these Cowboys, the focus had not increased. It had not improved. So, I didn't like that.
Well, let me say this, Denise. I think some of his inaccuracies also too are the moving parts, because like we said, as far as the receivers, like Robbie Chosen, you have Chris Moore, you having some of these guys that he's never practiced with.
Why wouldn't he practice with them though? I mean, come on now. Our guys who are injured have been injured. They didn't just get injured last week.
Well, but we got to remember, Robbie Chosen just came a week ago, and they were banking on
he's the one who showed up.
Exactly, he had the most yards, right? Chris Moore should never be.
So if you see this guy is showing up, he only had time to put on his uniform and get out there. But if you see him showing up and you see him showing out, then use number 12. Utilize number 12.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I mean, I don't blame Jaden Daniels for that. That's a Cliff Kingsbury issue. That's your offensive coordinator seeing that a guy is young, hungry. He's out there. He wants to make a play. He's making moves. Utilize him. Don't start going back in a different direction when you got a number that Dallas didn't have time to prepare for. They didn't see number 12 coming.
Right.
Exploit that.
Right.
So again, if you want to get rid of Joe Witt, go ahead and get rid of Cliff Kingsbury too. But like I said, we have a head coach who's not getting rid of a kicker who's inconsistent. So we have no reason to expect him to get rid of his top guys, his coordinators.
Right.
Now, we have seen some good play and good consistency from special teams. And I appreciate that, because years past, our special teams did nothing on kickoffs and punt returns. They did nothing. So now we're getting good field position. They're playing well. And of course, Tress Way.
Yeah, but we're not doing anything with it. We're getting good field position and we're not doing anything with it.
But that's your offense. That's your offense. Okay. So, and our defense isn't stopping anybody. Our defense let, Dallas score 44 points.
Our defense can't cover a cold.
They can't catch a cold. They provide zero coverage. So, and our offense is discombobulated. Now, I also have to question, do we, because this is a discussion that you and I used to have years ago, do we need yet another strength and conditioning team? Because we've been plagued with injuries. And here's the thing.
Tissue. Yeah.
We aren't coming back. We aren't bouncing back from that the way we should. Now, we're a team that has a history of being plagued with injuries. So our strength and conditioning team should be acutely aware of the need to get our guys in shape, keep our guys in shape, and rehab them properly so they don't get re-injured, as what we're seeing with Mr. Jedi 5, Jaden Daniels, because even though it's a different injury, we don't know if the braced leg forced him to overcompensate that other hamstring on the other side.
And I think that's what happened. Just
one
like
injury can lead to
Dorrance
another.
Armstrong. Same thing happened with Dorrance Armstrong. That's why he tore his ACL up.
Right. So do we need another strength and conditioning team?
Well, we're supposed to have one of the best. This strength and conditioning team, from what I've been told and what I've read, is supposed to be one of the best modern medicine teams that's in the league. So I don't know.
What are the results?
I don't know.
Because look, we also have one of the best guys in analytics. Okay.
Well, yeah,
the best in the league in analytics and who used analytics to tear us up? Dallas did.
Gene is not no longer with the team. He was a consultant with the team, as that's what we're speaking of. Last year, they actually he kind of keep him as a consultant role, but he's not with the team this year. So they look at the analytics from however they look at it.
So now nobody's, I mean, come on now.
I don't know. That's a good question right there, Denise. I'm not sure.
So that's yet another regression, yet another step back. But look, I can't go with we have somebody who's good at this and who's good at that. We see what our results are.
Right.
This is week 7. And we have now strung together 2 losses against 2 teams that we should have beaten. We should have beaten the Bears. And we should have, based on, who we are, what we've accomplished, and what Dallas has accomplished, we should have beaten Dallas. And we were number 2 in the NFC East. Dallas was number 2.
Not no more.
We came into this game. Before we went to Arlington, Texas, we were number 2 in the NFC East.
Now what are we? 3.
Thank goodness we're 3 and not 4. I mean,
come on. But we have 5 other teams with a 5-2 record. It's just an uphill battle for us. But we have to take it. It's a lot of ball left. I am aware of that. And we do have to take it one game at a time. But at some point, if we don't start stacking up some of these wins, Denise, this season's over. We don't start stacking up no wins.
But we see what the problems are. We see what the problems are, okay? So there's no great mystery to be unraveled here. We see what the problems are. The problems need to be addressed, okay? And it's going to be a week by week, step by step, methodical type of process. And we get that. And fortunately, we do have 10 games left. This is a 17-game season. We've played 7. We've got 10 to go. But look here. I got the binoculars out. Okay, where's our next victory going to come from?
We searching. I don't know.
Are we going to have to go across the Atlantic Ocean to Spain? Are we going to have to go to Europa and beat the Miami Dolphins? Because Monday night we're playing the Kansas City Chiefs, the world beaters.
Monday Night Massacre.
And then after that, we're going to host the Seattle Seahawks, and hopefully they will leave their 12th man at home in Seattle, and they won't bring them to our stadium. And then
Detroit,
the Detroit Lions, and we know the lion is the apex predator.
Yeah, and they're looking good. They're looking good.
The jungle.
Too. Yes, they have 2 explosive backs. They have explosive receivers, and that is our kryptonite. Running backs that can run on the edges, and that's very shifty and quick receivers. So, it is what it is at this moment. Week to week, I haven't given up, and I know you haven't, Denise, because here at Two of a Kind Sports, we're going to always ride with our team, but at the same time, we're going to be very critical of our team as well. So one way or another, we're going to always give you facts over feelings. That's one thing about Two of a Kind Sports. We will always give you that facts over feelings, and that, that we're going to always continue to just put out the truth. No fake narratives. We give it to you raw, and we give it to you real.
That's right. This week we went from raising hell to raising Cain, but hey, we had to do it because we tell the truth. So I thank you for joining us. That is our recap review of what was.
What wasn't?
What was and what wasn't, the good, the bad,
the have and the have
of it all.
Because that's what it was. The have and the have.
Oh my gosh! So we got through it. I didn't. This was one episode I really didn't want to do, so I'm glad we did it. We had fun. We tried to bring some brevity to the situation, especially in times like this when some humor is needed, because sometimes we have to laugh to keep from crying.
Right.
So, but we bleed burgundy and gold.
Burgundy and gold till we fold, baby.
That's right. So we are going to support our team, and we thank you for joining us. So that's all we have for this recap of week 7, where our Commanders went to Arlington, Texas, and they lost to the Cowboys. So we appreciate you for tuning in.
We appreciate you.
We love having your support. So thank you so very much. And please don't forget to do us a wonderful favor. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. and hit the bell notification and hit all. So that way you don't miss anytime we drop some new content. So until next time, D Nice, what would you like for us to do?
I would like for us to love somebody and hug somebody. Thank you for tuning into Two of a Kind Sports, and we'll see you. And shout out to the Washington Spirit. They won another game, and they're going to the playoffs. So shout out to the Spirit, and shout out to the Wizards that's starting their season Friday night. Thank you for
There
Two of a
you
Kind
go.
Sports.
Go Spirit and go Wizards.
Let's go.